Who's this? Oh look, it's Naughty Bear. Hello, Naughty Bear.
Naughty Bear is about as ridiculous a video game as you'll ever play in your life. It's gratuitously violent, it's absurdly irreverent, and if you ask most critics, they'll tell you it's also a complete catastrophe. And you know what? Maybe they're right. Maybe Naughty Bear does represent game design at its most hollow. Maybe it is a mess of a product that lacks polish and premise and purpose, but all I can say is while I was playing Naughty Bear, I'm pretty sure, no, in fact, I'm certain I was having a good time.
Annihilation! Naughty!
Naughty Bear was released to the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 back in 2010. It was originally sold at the retail price of $50, and I think that's what was most difficult for the critics to swallow when the game debuted. Admittedly, it does feel like a downloadable title more than a retail release, but of course I have the benefit of looking at Naughty Bear retrospectively, and with a much cheaper price tag. Is the game worth $50? No, they were right about that. But if you can look at this game without the steep price to consider, you find it's a lot more fun than it's given credit for.
Sticky incineration!
Naughty Bear is essentially the stuffed animal Manhunt hugs at bedtime. You play as Naughty Bear, a devious teddy who's really excited about his friend Daddle's birthday party. He's even made a present for the birthday bear, but, well...
Good gosh, Naughty, how insanely rude of Chubby and Giggles. And after you went to all that trouble to make a present... If I were you, I would throw that present in the fire and go and do something about all this nonsense.
And so Naughty does. The idea is you have to basically kill everyone, but you want to be as creative as possible while doing so. Sure, you can just run up to other teddy bears and stab them in the head repeatedly, but you can get a lot more points if you mess with them first. So for example, you might sneak into a house and cause a toilet to leak. This might cause a bear to come out and check on that toilet, at which point you can come out of hiding and murder them in the most, grisly ways imaginable. Obviously, the crux of the game is the contrast between its characters and its premise. Naughty Bear's whole shtick is the hilarity of watching a teddy bear endure some of the most heinous crap gaming has to offer. Case in point, if another bear sees you killing his friend, he vomits in horror, runs for his life, goes insane from the torment, and if you do things right, stabs himself in the chest so as to end it already. And actually, that was close to the response most critics had toward this game, and again, they were right in a lot of ways. The graphics have a nice style, but they are lacking in a technical sense. Clipping, slowdown, etc. The missions are also repetitive, and the stealth element isn't as fully realized as it could be, therefore leading to lots of mindless hack and slash. In short, this game could have and should have been better. Even so, I still think Naughty Bear is a really fun parody. And I think that might have something to do with the demented minds that spawned it. The game was developed by the team over at Artificial Mind and Movement, now known as Behavior Interactive. They're the same studio that created Wet, a stylish third-person shooter that most reviewers slammed, but I liked. It's the same team that did Voltron, Defenders of the Universe, a game that a lot of critics hated, but I had fun with. The funny thing is, my verdicts don't often fall far from the consensus, but Naughty Bear makes yet a third game from Behavior Interactive that, despite its ample flaws, I think does more than enough to warrant your attention. Now, it's far from a masterpiece, but it's funny, it's different, and you are, after all, murdering teddy bears.
You failed!